Yo, what's up? I'm Ace, and dude, today I'm gonna be talking about a straight up degenerate anime. I've covered Shimoneta before, but this is on a whole nother level of degeneracy. The show in question is My First Girlfriend is a Gal. Before I get into it, spoilers for the show going forward. It's not a story driven show at all, but you know, just in case you want to experience this for the first time or something, I don't know. So getting into it, I'm not gonna shit on the show or anything. Actually, I will a tad, but I think it's justified. But overall, this is a peak degenerate anime. When I think of this genre off the top, this is one of the first shows I think to place in here. The show is a slice of life, ecchi anime. It's got some harem elements, but I wouldn't stick it in that genre to be honest, since like the main character dates the lead female basically episode 1. It has a cast of females who are all trying to get at the protagonist, but I mean there's no real competition and they're really just fan service at the end of the day. Like the dude's not even interested in them like that either way, so it is what it is. The protagonist for this experience is Junichi Hashiba, and he's your typical loser. Homie is hella delusional, and whenever it comes to girls, he just has like a whole ass council meeting of personalities in his mind. Think of how like Kaguya from Love is War talks to the council of Shinomias. It's like that, but with a pervert dude taking charge and making the main character do questionable ass shit. Like dude has zero self-confidence, he's a major perv, and he has like no redeeming qualities other than that he's nice sometimes, and at times he can act like a decent human being. Appearing wise, he's pretty much nothing notable to be honest. He's like an average ecchi MC. He could totally be like an NPC background character in some other show. But yeah, this dude bags the lead female, Yukana Yame. She's a gal, hence the name of the anime. In case you don't know what a gal is, she's kind of just like a chick who dresses in this kind of fashion, I guess. But yeah, when I first watched this show, I didn't know what that was, and I thought the title was pretty funny. Like, dude, no shit, if she's your girlfriend, of course she's a gal. Like, that's stupid as fuck. But that's besides the point. Yukana's a cool character, I guess. She's easygoing, nice to a fault, and kind of just sweet in general, I guess. She turns out to be a pretty wholesome character, which I mean isn't the impression we first get. We're kind of shown what the main character sees and perceive her as like a bitchy bimbo, but that perception of her quickly becomes false as the show progresses. The dynamic between the two is actually pretty funny. Although they're dating, they don't have any like real feelings for each other. He was only able to date her because his shitter friends forced him to ask her out because apparently she was easy. The dude got into a whole relationship just because he thought she was hot and would bang him. As for Yukana, she only really agrees to date him because she thought it was funny to tease him. That's the entire show. They just go out and do stuff, and slowly over time begin to actually realize, hey, we actually like each other, and then they date for real, I guess. So at face value, this sounds like a normal rom-com, maybe like a shitty version of Nisekoi or something. How is this a degenerate show? Well, for starters, this show just shows straight up titty, among other things. It's not your typical fan service. Like, it's not on some fairy tale Fire Force shit. It's not like the generic like, yeah, rip clothing and then you see under boob or something. Like, the show just doesn't give a fuck. It doesn't care. There's that, and then the shit they just talk about and do for gags, like the jokes, are on some other shit. For context, I guess I'll just use that to transition to the supporting cast. There's 5 other characters here that really matter like that, so we'll get into them. First off, there's Ranko Hanjo. She's Yukana's best friend. She's also a gal and pretty nice too, I guess. She has good intentions and values her friend, but she also has a massive crush on her and is pretty overprotective of her. She tries to sabotage Yukana's relationship with Junichi because she thinks the guy doesn't deserve her, and I mean, he kinda doesn't, right? He's kind of a fucking loser, but that's besides the point. She does value her happiness, so she helps him out if she needs it, although she did try to NTR her friend, so there's that. She's kind of just a gag character, I guess. Kinda hit or miss. That's actually a trait shared by the entire female cast, and I guess the cast in general, to be honest with you. Although the female cast do share this love for just trying to NTR their friend, which is like, bro, do better. Yui Kashi is the next character I'm gonna talk about, and she's pretty dope. From the cast, I think she was my favorite because I thought her whole dynamic was funny as fuck. She's portrayed as a nice character, basically the only normal human being we see, but she's actually like a total shithead and kind of a sadist, I guess. She doesn't care about any of her friends and sees them all as just like numbers, but she sees the protagonist Junichi as a dog. In her mind, he's her perfect little lapdog, and she's pretty pissed when she finds out that he's dating someone. Of course, she also tries to sabotage the relationship by attempting to seduce him. She also like snaps pics of them together to try and break them up. Her plan is foiled by Ranko. Just like Ranko though, she also helps Junichi out sometimes. She's also a live streamer, but she dresses up as a gal kinda, and just has like a different bitchy mistress persona online, which I mean, it's kind of random, but so is the show. So next up we got Nene Fujinaki. She's the obligatory childhood friend. She's kind of whatever, to be honest. She's a total airhead and is treated as a gag character for the most part. She's also got wild proportions, meaning she's tiny as shit, and it's used in jokes and other gags. She has a crush on Junichi and has ever since they were kids. Hey, and guess what? She tries sabotaging his relationship by trying to seduce him. She actually makes multiple attempts, so like props to her for fucking being committed. Her attempts range from becoming a gal herself to trying like gain his attention to straight up trying to violate him mid-sleep. From these three, you can kind of see why the show is pretty out there and fits within the degenerate genre. It gets worse though. You may be thinking, how could it get worse? We're pretty deep in degeneracy, but hey, I did say this was kind of peak degeneracy, so now I'm going to introduce Junichi's shitter friends. I'll start with my favorite of the three, Keigo Ishida. He's literally just a normal guy. He's kind of perverted, but like nothing exaggerated from what I remember. Dude is just kind of along for the ride. He's still a loner loser, cause I mean, he hangs out with Junichi and these other guys, but yeah, he's kind of just a human being, which I thought was pretty funny cause the whole cast is filled with people below the rank of human. The next shitter is Shinpei Sakamoto. He's like the master strategist of degenerate loser shit. Any ploy they get into starts with him saying some out of pocket shit and getting the group to do stuff. He's the guy that got Junichi to go for Yukana in the first place. He's kind of a freak and horny to a fault. Homie tries to score when they all hang out as a group by suggesting and rigging the king game. I will now quickly explain the king game. In this game, you basically just pull straws and whoever gets a marked one is a king. They then tell the others what to do. So like for example, number 3, jump like an ape, but like number 4, sit on the lap of number 6. But yeah, he rigs it and either tries getting girls to kiss him or each other. It was some shit like that. He fails because Junichi's an actual human being sometimes and foils his shit. He also has like a whole recon mission near the end of the show, his sole purpose being to peep on girls at a hot spring, which was pretty funny to be honest. Like dude was decked out in whole ass military equipment to try and sneak a pic of some titty. Like bruh. Moving on, we have a literal stain on the show. This dude is a total trash can. Minoru Kobayakawa. So in degenerate anime, there tends to be certain tropes within the genre, like in My Sister, My Writer or Ero Manga Sensei, the protagonist is a cis-con, or in others you'll have like a loli or shoda-con. Like sure, whatever, it's a degenerate trope, but this dude is like an actual pedophile, like straight up blatant loser. And yeah, you can argue that lolicons and shoda-cons are pedos as well, but like that's a whole different discussion I don't want to get into right now. But this is different in the sense that dude goes out of his way to make sure you know that he's not that he's not a fucking lolicon or whatever. He straight up likes children. He'll say the most out of pocket shit like, ew, that girl is too old for me, or like be creepy as shit near kids. Don't get me wrong though, the show doesn't promote or praise this. That guy is a total gag and is shit on constantly by the cast, whether it be them just bullying him verbally or calling the cops on him. But yeah, dudes just cemented this as a degenerate show for me. I mean, I had the feeling it would be off the title, like based on that you should know what you're getting into, but that's besides the point. And yeah, I know that he falls under like edgy or dark humor, but to be honest with you man, the whole label can be cringe as shit. Don't get me wrong though, I did think the dude was funny as fuck just because he was so out of pocket 24/7. I actually watched this with a group of friends and we kind of just shit on him every time he came on screen. It was all laughs, but I can totally see people hating his ass and just dropping the show over it, if not for that but for the other degenerate shit the show has to offer. But yeah, he's kind of a shit tier character to be honest with you. Moving past that, I'ma kind of just bitch about the ending of the show. I thought the way the ending was handled was stupid as fuck. Like I get that they had to realize they both liked each other, but Junichi's incompetence literally just pissed me off. Homie gets jealous because his girlfriend is talking to a male friend and he sees her hanging out. Like the whole situation would have been avoided if they just talked. His suspicion of the guy was warranted though, because he did end up being a shithead who was just trying to hit. But to me, the whole part of the show could have been way better, or just avoided to be honest, or just go a different route. Like the show had zero plot up to this point, and they tried adding in suspense and like random drama for no reason. Like bruh, you're a degenerate show, know your place and stay to that vein. Like there's nothing wrong with it. Like deadass though, I thought the portion of the show was so bad, it made me question if the author of Rent a Girlfriend saw this show, specifically this part, and decided to make a series solely based on this version of Junichi. Like Kazuya is just like him for real. But yeah, the show just oozes degeneracy and you're probably less of a person for checking it out. But you should watch it for sure if you like this kind of thing. I like watching them because they're usually funny and out of pocket as fuck. They're good as filler shows too, but it does come at the cost of being a normal person, I guess. So there's that. Aside from that though, leave a like, comment, subscribe, and share the video and kind of just pass the channel around. I'm trying to grow and it'd be dope to do so. But yeah, that's about it. Later.